my hair has decided to totally not cooperate with me this evening, so that's why you have the AC Milan shirt with the Crystal Palace hat. It's been one of those days from a hair care point of view for everybody in the family. What's even more interesting is the fact that we are undefeated this season. In 22 games, we have won 18 and we have drawn 4. And that's good enough for second place, which is a total bummer. My name's FM20, and it's time to get Réal. And this is what I'm talking about here. Barcelona has won one more game. They've drawn 3 less, and they've lost 2. Plus, they have the goal differential. Even though, plus they've also beaten us in head-to-head. No, they drew with us in head-to-head. So they have the goal differential on us, and that is why they are ahead of us for the moment. Today, it's going to be an interesting couple of games. First up is Cultural Leonesa. They are a La Liga 2 team. We are playing them in our Copa del Rey 4th round match. And then Valencia, who are a very good squad. They've kind of fallen off a little bit this year, but last year we played them in the Copa del Rey semifinal. They lost one of their key players, Esteban was his name, Santisteban. I'm totally mangling that, but he was probably their most prolific scorer. You know what? We can look at him here real quick. Aitor Santisteban went to Man City for $63 million, going up to $76 million. Had a solid career for Valencia. Very good striker. 20 and 38, 13 and 35, 11 and 36. You know, not bad, but not elite by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, Valencia bought him for 15 after Osasuna bought him for 68. That's how I know, because he was at Osasuna the same time we were, and we saw him the whole time. I had issues pronouncing his name the entire time. Athletic Club bought him for $68 million, then they turned and moved him for 15 to Valencia. Valencia turned around and sold him for 63, so they made a nice chunk of change on it. But he was by far one of their better offensive players, and just they've kind of fallen off without him up top. They've still got capable players, mind you, but I don't know. It could be one of those things. It could go either way. When we last played, it was the massacre of Galatasaray in the Champions League group stage, where we absolutely thumped them 13-0. It's been a decent break since we came back, but that's kind of intentional. As I've mentioned before, I don't like doing live comms during January simply because of all the transfer moves and everything going on. Plus, it's kind of hard to stay on top of players. Plus, the only thing of consequence really going on in January is the Supercopa. And the board doesn't give a rat's behind about the Supercopa. So as a result, I don't give a rat's behind about the Supercopa. For the most part, the January transfer window is going to end here in a couple of days. Playing through all these games lets me get through the schedule without having to worry about all the transfer stuffs going on, you know, the ins and the outs and so on and so forth. And we finish off with our Copa del Rey match and a match against a very decent Valencia team. So after Galatasaray, I'm not going to say we fell off, but we only scored 1 goal against Espanyol, and that was Barry Verdonk in a 58th minute penalty kick. Against Villarreal, we thumped them 4-1. Carlos Roberto brace of goals, Antonio Augusto brace of goals. We had a friendly against Cartagena. It was just a tune-up game more than anything else. I think the only takeaway from this was that someone went out injured, and I'm trying to remember who off the top of my head. Israel went out injured. Yeah, thigh injury. He was out for an extended amount of time, if I remember correctly, 2 to 3 months. You know what? We can check that here real quick. Torn hamstring. Yeah, he's out for the next 6 weeks at least. Against Real Betis, we beat them 4-0 thanks to a goal by Roberto, a brace of goals by Uche, and a 91st minute goal by Maria. We lost to Madrid in the Supercopa semifinal on penalty kicks. Petrov missed, and it was just, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I'm kind of sad we lost, but I'm not upset we lost, if that makes sense. Then we played Real Madrid literally a week later, and we drew with them thanks to a brace of Barry Verdonk goals. Against Athletic Club, we stomped them 4-1. Verdonk a goal, Augusto a goal, Tollefson a goal, Roberto a goal. Against CD Lugo in the Copa Rey third round, we absolutely stomped them there too, 6-2. Carl Hurst a brace of goals, Barry Verdonk a hat-trick's worth of goals, Carlos Roberto a goal. Against Celta Vigo, Kerma had a 93rd minute goal to give us the win. This was one of those games where the stats do just not tell the true story of what happened. They have Raboui in goal, and he stopped a lot of shots. Celta Vigo is where he ended up after the magical mystery tour that he embarked on. He went to Alaves, then he went to Nantes, then he turned around and went to Celta Vigo. He's been their starting keeper. He's been solid, if unspectacular. Chances are he'd probably still be the starting keeper for us unless I found someone better. So you never know. But we had 29 shots, 18 on target, 4 off target, 1 clear-cut chance, 3 half chances. 8 long shots was kind of the killer for us. Everybody channeled their inner Malo and just was trying to score from distance. So we got lucky to escape with the win. I will be the first to admit it. And so today that leaves us with Cultural Leonesa, as I mentioned before, in the Copa Rey fourth round, and then Valencia in La Liga. Transfer window is almost over, but we have made a couple of moves. Let's get to those here real quick. On the outs, Ross Boyce went to Real Sociedad. He wasn't happy with the playing time he was getting. I said, hey, let me try and find a move for you. Leeds United at one point in time wanted him. I put him out there. Real Sociedad snapped him up for $16.75 million. Usually I don't like transferring to other teams in the same division, but Sociedad is in La Liga 2, and plus, I don't know that he's going to be a full-time starter there. And so if they do come up, I am not too worried about it. And then after looking at who I had at defensive left back, Anders Broaderson was indeed the odd man out. I put him out there just to see what I could get for him. Wolfsburg snapped him up for $13 million. Maybe... I think I got a little bit more money for him than I probably should have, seeing as how he's only valued at 9.25, but it was a straight-up money deal. The other thing that happened was, you may remember at the beginning of the year, Laszlo Seferovic was wanted by Juve. So just on the off chance, I took a flyer to see how much I could get for him if I put him out there. So I put him out there as available, unlimited, and the best offer I got for him was 3.7 million euros. It's an absolute disgrace. I have no idea what's going on with the transfer AI, for lack of a better word. But the fact of the matter is, Seferovic is a decent, well, he's a better than decent keeper. And he's probably one of the better ones in the game. He's valued at $7.5 million. The fact that I was only getting offers of 3.7 for him is just a freaking disgrace. I'm going to go back here real quick before we go to the ends. The other thing that's driving me absolutely up a wall is Dennis Thorpe. He is a defensive midfielder I brought him in, and he was a defensive midfielder. I'm retraining to be a ball-playing defender. He isn't happy because he's not getting what he thinks is enough playing time. He's here on, I want to say, star player contract, and that's my fault. But my plan was to always have him part of the rotation. We've played 18 games. He started 13, and he's come off the bench for 3. And he's still upset over his lack of playing time. A couple teams came in and made offers for Tollefson, but they were absolutely lowballing me. On the ends, first, Derlis Aguilar from Guarani in Paraguay. My scouts in South America have been on a very good tear. I picked him up because of his potential more than anything else. I'm going to switch this to this screen right here because you get a little bit more information on it. He's 18 years old. He's already on the Paraguayan under-20s cap. He's already been capped at the under-20 level for Paraguay. He's got potential, and that's one of the big reasons I got him. He'll spend 2 years on the U19 squad. I'll loan him out for a couple years. I've got Seferovic, who's probably going to leave this summer. I got Bates, who I think is going to be my long-term keeper, depending on how much longer the save goes. And then Aguilar is waiting in the wings for $1.7 million. I don't know that you can be too upset with that. If you compare him to Seferovic, he's already his equal in aerial. He's very close to him in speed and mental. It's the other areas that you need game time to improve in that he needs to improve in. and he will definitely get that. Heck, if we compare him to Raboui, he's almost as good as, if not better than Raboui in most areas. And if we take a look at him as compared to Bates, it's kind of the same story. Probably Falkowski. He's my 2-star. So he's better than him in some areas and not as good as him in others. And Spider on the wall next to me, go figure. So yeah, I was actually playing a couple days ago and saw this dot come down in front of my eyes and jerked back. It was a spider coming down from the ceiling. It was a tiny, tiny little thing, but still, it's not something you expect to see. Next in was Alouine Cooley from Aspire Academy in Senegal. He came in on a free. I actually brought him in on a trial. He's here just because of potential more than anything else. I needed some younger players for the under-19 squad for the next couple of years. He's 1.5-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. Already, he's fairly solid physically. I love the 20 determination. 17 teamwork is also nice as well. Technically, he's a good dribbler. He's decent first touch. He's an okay header. He's not that great at finishing or crossing, and his passing's only a 10. He's one of those guys who could be a full-time second teamer. He's a target man naturally. I'm going to try and retrain him as a pressing forward. He could have a future on the squad as like a 3rd or a 4th keeper. I can also use him in a pinch as a right winger, but his crossing and finishing and things like that just don't make him the best option for that. But, on a free, I can't complain about that. Jean Kleber from Sao Paulo was the first big money we spent. 30.5 million going to 31 based on international appearances. When Israel went out, I needed a replacement, and this is the kid I chose. After looking at everyone else who was out there, I'm building for the future. He's capped at the under 20 level for Brazil already. He's a multi-positional player. He's a natural advanced midfielder in the center. I'm going to retrain him to be an advanced midfielder on the right. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He gets forward whenever possible, tries killer balls, stops play. He is either footed, which makes him great. I can use him as an inside forward. He's a natural engage. I love an engage. I have this 3-4-1-2 formation that uses an engage that I may actually break out next year, depending on who else I have on the squad. Physically, he's solid, but not spectacular at this point. Mentally, he's solid where it counts. The 8 concentration is a little bit on the low side, as is the positioning, but we can work on that. Attributes-wise, 11 finishing and first touch, 12 passing, 15 technique is great. Everything else, penalty kick taking and long throws are 5. That's something you're trying to find to complain about. That's something, but again, 19 years old. With playing time, he's only going to get better, and he's going to get a decent amount of playing time, especially with Israel out. Ibrahim Amawako from Ashanti Gold. Brought him in on a trial. Liked what I saw. Went to Ashanti, said, how much for him? And they said 525,000 euros. And I said, yeah, I've got 200 million in the bank. Why not? Defensive left back. 1.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Just in case Tasevsky or Kerma doesn't work out, I needed some depth here as well. And as you can see, he's very solid he's very solid physically. Mentally, he's solid where it counts. 15 decision making, 16 determination, 13 positioning, 12 work rate. Technically is where he kind of falls short, but that will get better with playing time. Sariba Sidibe from Academy JMG Mali. Brought him in on a trial. My scout recommended him. Saw his contract had expired. Brought him in. Defensive center back. 1-star current ability. 3-star potential ability. 20 years old. More of a, hey, let's see what can happen if we get him some playing time sort of thing. Mentally, he's solid. Physically, he's not the greatest. Technically, he's not the greatest. I think with a lot of playing time, he could improve. The object was to loan him out, but he's not going to see that this year. So he will get some time on the B squad mat. We'll loan him out next year, maybe the year after that. See how much he improves. If we can keep playing him and improving him, then we will do that. If not, it's probably €500,000 euros down the drain. But at this point in our career here at Hyen, it's a drop in the bucket. Arie Thunderson from NEC, which is Nijmegen Eintracht Combinatie. Dutch. I'm way too sober to try and speak that. Comes in for 30 million euros straight up. Midfielder on the left. Going to retrain to be the advanced midfielder because a lot of teams are coming after Rune Tollefson. I would have moved him, but I didn't get an offer that I liked. and I needed somebody in the wings as a replacement. Yes, I have Verdonk there, but he is not a long-term replacement. Ari Thornerson is 17 years old, Dutch, already worth a decent amount of money. He's 1.5 star career ability, 4.5 star potential ability, left-footed winger. Physically, he is solid. 13 acceleration, 16 agility, 16 pace, 12 stamina is nice as well. Mentally, solid if unspectacular. Those will get better with playing time, technically. 15 crossing, 13 dribbling, 14 first touch, 13 technique, 9 passing already. The more playing time he gets, the better he will become, and he will definitely get some playing time this season. As a matter of fact, he's going to get playing time today. And that is pretty much it for the transfer window, unless something happens and a player just falls in our lap, which I don't think is going to happen. We bought 260 million euros worth of players. We've sold 225 million euros worth of players. That still leaves us a transfer budget of 136 million euros and about 300,000 euros worth of wiggle room on the payroll. So we're fine there. So we do have Cultural Leonesa coming up here in a couple of days, or today actually, as a matter of fact, in our Copa del Rey 4th round match. I'm going to check my best 11 that I'm going to play for this match, that is. Set the reserves. We're going to come back with that in just a bit. And this is the squad we're playing today. It is our 4-2-4. I have played the 4-3-3 a couple of times. I played the 4-2-3-1 once, just because of fitness issues between the players, and we still haven't lost a game, so make of that what you will. But we got Bates in goal, Kerma, Thorpe, Havranek, and Slamanu as the defensive back four. Augusto and Petrov as the midfielders. Thunderson and Hurst as the advanced midfielders. Verdonk and Maria up top as the strikers. Resting Roberto and Stevic. First team's been solid for us, but I want to get Slamanu more playing time. Mutsilla's coming off injury, but he should come in the second half as a sub. And Thunderson played an under-19 match, and he's at 70%. I totally just crapped the bet on that, didn't I? I have to get him off at 30 minutes. Let's see how he does. Hurst to Augusto. Verdonk to Thunderson. Back to Augusto. Out to Kerma. In the box. Back to Thunderson. He bounces his pass off. Petrov bangs it off the post. Augusto. Corner kick in. Verdonk picks it up. Back out to Kerma. And the highlight ends. That was interesting. I totally screwed up on Thunderson. Augusto. Well outside the box. Heads it in. And Havranek is there. Havranek is there. And that is his third or fourth goal of the season, I want to say. I want to say it was Havranek. Yeah. We'll check that out here real quick. No, Petrov dispossesses Kane, but Kane gets it back. Gameno up to Roger. Oh, Roger. Oh, outside the... Oh, we dodged a bullet there. Bonahini. Oh, his pass is knocked down by Thierson. Luque intercepts that pass, but ends up at Verdonk's feet. Maria charges forward, splits the defenders. And a weak shot at Alatui. Thorpe to Kerma. Or to Petrov. Long pass for Verdonk. He, baseline, bounces it off a Cultural Leonesa player, but gets it back. Thunderson crosses it in. Maria's there, but it's over the crossbar, and we are going to get Thunderson off because I am a flippin' idiot. I'm going to bring Roberto on and switch him with Verdonk. Slamanu to Hurst on the throw-in. Petrov ends up with the ball. Maria gets it, centers it. Verdonk in the box. Is he fouled? He is. He was tripped. Who's taking this? Augusto? Havranek. That's interesting. I don't have him set up to be a penalty kick taker, but okay. It's 2 goals in a game for Vaclav. That's a rarity, to be honest with you. Well done, Vaclav. Thorpe picked up a yellow card. Of course Thorpe picked up a yellow card. 9 shots, 4 on target, a slight possession advantage to their 6-2. A brace of goals by Vaclav Hrvanik gives us the 2-0 lead. Yeah, he's had 1 goal so far, but he's had 3 in the Nations League. Okay. Oh, my assistant totally botched the team talk. And Hrvanik is confused. Okay, just what we need. Kane on the throw-in. Centers it to Himeno. Back to Percucci. To Himeno. To Bajrami. He takes a shot, but it's ill-advised and very wide right. All the way back to Alastui. He bombs it forward. Kane heads it down for Roger. He takes a shot, but Bates has no problem stopping that. Augusto with the corner kick. Roberto is there, but he heads it over the crossbar. A few more minutes, we're going to make a couple changes here. Okay, we are going to bring on Anic for Kerma. Let's save our last sub here. Anic picked up a yellow card. He's barely been on. Back to Thorpe. Over to Anic. Up to Augusto. He gets it out to Verdonk. Blows by the defender in the box. And he takes a shot at last tweet. And just, that was it. I see an opening, coach. I'm going to shoot it. Augusto from just outside the box. And Roberto heads it right to the keeper. We're going to make our last sub here. The question is, who's it going to be? We're going to get Slamano off and bring on Furstein. Repiak. Oh, drives forward. He's a solid player, especially when he does stuff like that. He's 33 years old now. He's been on Leonesa for a while. He's their star player. Physically, he is solid, if unspectacular. He's fast enough to do that. Oh, who went for the slide tackle? Petrov. Son of a gun. Augusto sends it in. Roberto back and forth. Roberto again doesn't get it. Repiak sends it out into space. Kane is going to get there before Petrov gets by the one defender. Martin and Bates with a very nice stop. Percucci to Repiak on the throw and dispossessed by Augusto. Roberto runs down that pass. He centers it to Verdonk. Verdonk tries taking the shot, but he bounces it off a Leonesa player. Centers it. Petrov is there, but Astui with a very nice save. Bates bangs it over to Verdonk, who heads it over to Roberto. He gets by the defender, no problem. Rounds the keeper. Oh, Astui, very nice save. Looks like he may have stuck a foot or a hand out enough to save it. Gusto in swinger, and I don't know what the heck happened there. Four minutes of extra time. And we win 2-1 against a very capable Cultural Leonesa squad who was up for the match. 3 more yellow cards. Yikes. And of course, we got Valencia in 5 days. So, let's take a look here real quick. Yeah, aren't as good as they think. Hrvanik, yeah. Superb in front of goal. Keep it up. Yeah, Carlos Roberto had 3 goals for Brazil in their game against Bolivia. And then Cooley had a goal for the under-20s. Maria's on the Romanian senior squad. Macchiati's on the Cote d'Ivoire senior squad. Bates is on the German senior squad. Adela's on the Egyptian senior squad. Got a lot of good players with a lot of potential. Question is, are they going to realize it? And the transfer window is ending soon too. Let me see if I can't go back to the calendar. Yep, transfer window closes right after the Valencia game. So, I don't know that we're going to make any more moves after that. We shall have to wait and see. So, I'm going to save this here real quick, and then we're going to be back with our match against Valencia in just a bit. A couple of things here. This is the Copa del Rey 5th round draw. We're going to go through this real quick, and then a slight change of plan. We are playing Barcelona. Of course we're playing Barcelona. Valencia is playing Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid is playing Osasuna. And Cadiz is here as well. The other change is going to be this. I can't believe I did not catch this earlier. As the game is scrolling all over on me. We are going to do triple live com today. We're going to skip the Valencia game. We're going to play Barcelona in our Copa del Rey match, and then we have them 3 days later in La Liga. And this is for first place. And then we'll take a break and come back. We're playing Lyon in the Champions League first knockout round. So you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to play Barcelona in the Copa del Rey, call out an episode, come back, then play Barcelona and Lyon in the next episode, and then come back and play probably Villarreal and Lyon in the episode after that. Unless, of course, we win here, in which case the semifinals in here somewhere. This plan is written in jello on a sidewalk on Texas during a summer day. It's very, very malleable. So, back with our match against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey in just a bit. This is an interesting piece of news. Zenith signed Jeremy Sutter for 41.5 million euros. We got 1.5% of that. Well, he chased the city. He chased the big club and went to Man City. And he saw very little playing time. 7 goals in 26 matches. No goals in 10 starts here. Looks like he played on their B squad quite a lot. And was okay there. But, yeah, they lost a little bit of money on. But, man, we came out ahead on that. See what happens when you move to the big squads? That's like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened with a player this say, with like Raboui and Sutter, a couple others as well. Oh, a couple of things here. These are the guys who are currently out on loan. Gautier Zamboli literally just left, and I wouldn't have let him go except they offered to pay like the entirety of his salary. Plus, they're not a bad squad for their level of competition. They're in the La Liga 2, so he is going to get playing time there. If we sort by, I know I got a couple guys on the same squads. So like Jean Macchiati and Jean-Louis Seca are on the same squad. They've each got a decent amount of playing time. They're both playing in the midfield. Tim Bishop Birmingham's gotten a decent amount of playing time, but he hasn't really kind of lived up to expectations. Robert Czewski, who is my right back of the one of my left backs of the future until I got Kerman. I have no idea what's going on with those arrows there. Is having a decent season at Leganes. Victor Coro, great season at Stade Rennais, but he is kind of maxed out. Frankly, I don't know that he is going to have anything resembling a career here. We brought him in for 1.5. I'm reasonably sure we can move him if we wanted to for a lot more than that. Romer de Decker, my 17-year-old winger of the future, who can play all 3 advanced midfielder positions and is improving by a decent amount. 17 years old now. Physically, he's very, very good. Mentally, he still needs some help. Technically, the same story, but going out on loan to a team like, where did he go? Racing Club de Ferrol, who are in the 3rd division. He is playing against, I'm not going to say the greatest competition in the world, but they're probably about at his level. And he's doing a very good job there. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists in 18 matches. So, I can't complain. And you can see here, it's more about potential and getting guys their playing time more than anything else. So, well, the transfer window is closed. We did have a couple of moves. They were loans more than anything else. And then it took me about 20 minutes to figure out how I was going to set my Champions League roster. The registration rules were kind of a pain. I brought in 3 new youngsters that I wanted to give slots to, and I can only end up giving slots to 2 of them. So as a result, Thunderson is not on my Champions League squad. I could regret that. But Gautier Zamboli I talked about earlier, but he went out on loan to Albacete Balompié. Armin Lenz comes to us from Dortmund. With Uche out at least the next 2 months, I needed some help on the defensive back line, and he was the best young player available. One of the reasons I got him was he's a very good central defender, and he's also a very good ball-playing defender. He's physically solid. Mentally, he's very good. Technically, he could be better, but he could also be a heck of a lot worse. At 12 marking, 16 tackling is very nice. Go to this page here. He's 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He pulled a thigh a couple days ago, so he's out for the next couple days, but he places his shots. He comes deep to get the ball. Frankly, he's a German national. He has caps at the under 21 level, and if I could get him in the off season for a very good deal, I will probably do that. So we got our first match against Barcelona coming up in the Copa del Rey. Then this will be an episode. Then we'll come back and play Barcelona again. We beat Valencia 1-0 thanks to a Miko Stevic goal in the 69th minute. This was, as I'm clicking the wrong thing, not the best game of the world for us. We had 14 shots, 9 on target. They had 14 and 5. Made a match of it. They gave us everything we can handle and a little bit more. Stevic had an absolutely solid game. A lot of that 7.9 was the goal, but the rest of it was his defensive work. Anich also had a very good game. My midfield, on the other hand, was just not the best. Thunderson came off. I took Thornerson off the half because they were just getting abused by Mendoza and Stepanek. And so I had to bring on Tolson and Maria, and then I took Verdonk and switched him. There was a lot of switching back and forth, but once they came on, because I wanted to rest Maria and a couple of these other players, but once he came back on, things sorted themselves out. Kermit picked up some sort of virus, and he is out for the next couple days, of course. Just when we really need him. We're really weak at advanced midfield on the right, especially with I'm totally blanking on his name. The new guy, he's on the Brazilian national team, the under 20, or he's on the... Anyhow, Kermit is out with a virus. Roberto's playing advanced midfield on the right because Israel's injured, and my new guy, whose name I'm totally blanking on, is on international duty for at least the next 2 weeks. So it's kind of a hodgepodge squad here the next couple of days, and hopefully it'll be enough to see us through. We got Seferovic in goal, Anich, Spender, Stevic, and Furstein as the defensive back four, Gusto and Malo as the midfielders, Tolson and Roberto as the attacking midfielders, Verdonk and Maria up top as the strikers. Just a credible result. They're not starting Helio. Diaz to Dimek. Guerrero, back to Dimek. Fati is there, but Seferovic, a very nice save. Seferovic gets the ball to Roberto, who forgets he's a winger. Instead, he looks like he's playing striker, tries feeding Verdonk, but Van Eyck comes up to get the ball because Velasquez got in front of... I keep wanting to call him Sutter, but it's not. Verdonk. Cesar. Up to Goodwin. And his shot is very, very wide right. What the heck was that? Do they have Helio on the bench? They do have Helio on the bench. Seferovic to Stevic, who's already picked up a yellow. Anich. Tolson. Back to Augusto. Long pass towards Roberto. He crosses it in, but it's knocked away. Cesar gets it to Dimek. Up to Goodwin. Oh, he rounds the defender, no problem. And he pushes it far post. Son of a gun. That was a very nice shot. Who did he blow by? The number 4. Stevic. Lazo got caught flat-footed too. Mahmoud on the throw-in to Cesar. Back to Mahmoud. And he gets it to Goodwin, who heads it in. Son of a gun. Nice header. In front of Stevic, who is playing a bit more cautiously because he's on a yellow now. Good one. A brace of goals, giving them the lead. That's just annoying as hell. Anich on the throw to Tolson. Gets the ball back after losing it for a minute. Sends it out to Roberto. He's got help. Is he going to use it? Nope. He's going to try and round the defender. Now he's almost dispossessed. He is dispossessed. No, he gets it back. Now he's back out to Furstein, who crosses it in, but it's knocked away. Roberto gets the carom. Back out to Furstein again. To Roberto. Firstine. Back to Malo. Feeds Maria. Got between the defenders. Van den Eek out. Oh, Velasquez scores. It's an own goal. He got caught trying to stop Verdonk from getting the ball. Nice pass to Maria, who totally faked out Van den Eek out. And then Verdonk came in to get the ball, and Velasquez ended up putting it in the back of his own net. Oh, Diaz blows by the defender there. Goodwin caroms his shot off a high defender. What the heck happened there? I think we're going to skip that. Anich on the throw-in. Tollefson back to Anich. Augusto centers it in. Kresik's there and he scores. No, it's Maria. Why am I saying Kresik? That's the defender. He was offsides. Are you freaking kidding me? We're going to get Stevic off and bring on Thorpe. Tollefson's not having the best game, so we're going to bring on Thunderson. Mahmoud to Dymic to Fati to Cesar, who's dispossessed by Roberto. It's 3-on-2. Instead, he's going to take the shot. Van den Eek got no problem stopping that. Spender, top of the box, off the corner kick to Malo, to Augusto. He crosses it in. Roberto's there, but it's knocked around. Thunderson back out to Anich, and the highlight ends. That was annoying. Goodwin, and it's header over the crossbar. Augusto, corner kick in. Thorpe is there, but he heads it over the crossbar as well. 75 minutes in, we are going to make one last change. Anich is on a yellow, and plus he's kind of gassed, so we're going to have to move Spender over to cover him, and then bring on Havranek. Spender on the throw into Verdonk. Back to Spender. He crosses it in. Oh, just above the crossbar. Very nice header. Adaliba. Taps up to Diaz. To Guerrero to Dimek. Oh, back to Cesar. Sanzamas gets by the defender. Goodwin's there. Oh, good grief. What the heck happened with Spender? He kicked it right back to Goodwin. That is just frustrating. Sanzamas got by the defender. Crosses it in. He wasn't even paying attention. The ball hit him and went right back to Goodwin. Hat trick's worth of goals for Goodwin. Augusto, can we get one back? Maria's there and he scores. Yes, we can. They raise the flag. It's going to be holy hell. Van den Eek came out for the ball, and that's usually a good call for him, but not this time. He totally misplayed it. Can we get the guys to push forward the last few minutes? Is it going to help us? It is not. And we lose 3-2 in the Copa del Rey 5th round to a very good Barcelona squad. 25 shots, 12 on target they had. We had 13 and 7. We had the one also called back by Maria being offsides. That was annoying. So we're out of the Copa del Rey. That's a bit of a bummer. Maria had gone more than a few games without scoring. People were kind of worried about that. That's not the Barcelona game I'm worried about, though. It's this one coming up here. Because first team's out because he's got too many yellows. And it is for first place. If we win, we're that much closer to securing first place again. And the board's probably going to be a little bit miffed because we didn't make the semifinal. But what are you going to do? So, not the best episode. And Anich reached his yellow card limit as well. But, you know what? We'll be back literally in a few minutes for me. But it'll be a day or two for you, depending on when this drops. I'm back down to like 4 videos a week just because of various life things more than anything else. And, so far so good. We're going to keep going until I get tired of it, probably. But that plan could change too. Like I said earlier, Jello on a hot Texas sidewalk during a summer day. So, not the best games in the world, but some solid results. I'd be interested in your feedback on the transfer window. If we made some good moves, if we made some bad moves, if I'm buying too many young players and too many midfield positions to get them all in the field at the same time, can we move them on for money, or is the transfer window AI going to bork us again? If you did like what you've seen and heard, please like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments, emails down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM20. Thank you.